All right, a couple quick things for our talk at the table. First, this from Capitol Hill today, a surprise, and no shock, but certainly a surprise. South Carolina Senator Jim Demint, perhaps the most powerful Tea Partier in government, both House and Senate, announced he was calling it quits today. He's going to take over as head of the ultra-conservative Heritage Foundation come January 1. And among Demint's greatest hits, his calls for gays or single teachers to be barred from classrooms, his defense of Todd Aiken's legitimate rape comments, and his bill that would have stripped all federal employees of collective bargaining. Proof positive, Andrew, that the Tea Party doesn't have the juice they did.
Certainly not within the pillars of government. Yeah, I think he figures he can have a greater influence on government and policies at the Heritage Foundation, which is kind of sad because there's only 100 members of the U.S. Senate. And we were just talking about whether who was going to run for senator, was Booker going to run, or whomever in New Jersey. It's kind of a sweet gig.
Dom, I think more and more people that have options are choosing not to run that would have run before because of the toxic nature of it. And also I see more and more people saying, you know, I can do influence more from the outside than the inside. I think that's real.
I think that's definitely real. He is looking at the handwriting on the wall. You can't get anything done in Washington, and surely they're losing their power. It's more polarizing by the day.
And he was part of it, by the way, a big part.
He was, but it's not that much of a risk for the Republicans. Nikki Haley's going to appoint a conservative Republican. It might be a Tea Party.
Good news, by the way. This is inside baseball, but for Lindsey Graham, he likes this move. Right.
Also, likely to be, the replacement's likely to be the first black Republican in the Senate from the South since Reconstruction, I think.
Yeah. Next up here, we talked about this. You two guys weren't here. Andrew and I talked about it earlier in the week. Bob Costas and what he said Sunday night in the aftermath of that tragedy in Kansas City. He, obviously sportscaster, Sunday Night Football on NBC at halftime, said quite a bit. And he was on with Bill O'Reilly last night following Costas' on-air editorial in the wake of that Javon Belcher murder-suicide. He said he wasn't calling for gun control, sounded like it though, but he said merely the gun culture, which he found troubling. Take a listen to the back and forth. Oh, okay, we don't have it here, but basically the short of it is that Bob Costas, and if you guys saw this and we talked about it, he made it clear that he thought that we have to take a real reality check here and say that if there wasn't a gun in that household, both Belcher and the mother of his child would be alive today.
And he said last night that, you know, name a situation where an athlete with a gun made a situation better. You can name countless ones where it's made it worse, but you can't name one that it made it better.
I agree with what he said. There was a debate, and I don't know where I fall on it. I know Andrew thought he had no problem with the setting of it, the time and the place. Any problem with the place, halftime of a football game, to make this point?
You know, I really don't have a problem with it, but I think it's been a little bit hard for me to follow his train of thought afterwards. He's kind of seemed to me to be backpedaling. You know, he's acting like people are a little bit crazy to think he's calling for gun control. But if you listen to what he said,
it sounded like that to me on Sunday night.
Sounded like that to many people. And so, you know, and hey, if he wants to call for gun control, all the power to him. But, you know, to then backpedal like that seems to feel like he found something wrong with it.
Only way you're going to take on the NRA is unconventional methods such as what Bob Costas did. That starts the talking amongst Americans.
My only point is, I'm with Jeannie. If he wanted to say that, he should have owned it. And in fact, I thought he backtracked just a little bit. All right, stay with us. We'll be right back after this.